Okay, this is my first time doing a record of a narration here. Now, that little dog there, that's Stir Fry, that's my granddaughter. And I just want to say that if you're going to be my grandchild, I got to give you a food name. So Amber and John's Homestead, this is for you. I'm giving you a new name, being that you're my granddaughter too. Your new name is Shake and Bake. Shake and Bake, baby, Shake and Bake. Anyway, I need to learn how to speed things on up here. You know, it's the way I'm working here today. My back's pretty stoked up. I probably shouldn't be running the chainsaw. Not a good day for it, but something that it's got to get done. As you can see from this here, I'm as slow as molasses, and I got all my safety gear on. What do you think that safety gear? At least I ain't wearing my flip-flops. Now all this wood here, I had plans of reusing it for different stuff, but I'm getting so many of these slabs built up that I just got to get them cleaned up. I've got to get myself organized on where I'm going to keep these slabs and keeping things separated on the stuff that I'm going to reuse. Just roll the chunks off to the side over there. My wife was supposed to come on over and help with this. She was going to grab the chunks and throw them into the bucket there and grab them up, stack them inside the woodshed. She'll be helping me on the next half. She was busy doing some other stuff. Isn't that little puppy a cute little dog there? She's my little granddaughter. That's my jewel. She's by me all the time when she's here. One thing I need to figure out how to do is how to speed up the time frame so this 22-minute long video ain't 22 minutes long. I know there's got to be a way in Windows Video Maker how to make things go faster. I like to knock these videos down to about 10 minutes. Well, this is a learning process. Now this is kind of a boring video to even watch. I'm just doing an experiment here. I would like to learn how to do these editing with the talkover so I can explain what I'm doing. There's nothing really to explain here with when a person's cutting firewood. But this is just an experiment. Some of y'all might even ask, what's the chainsaw you're using? Well, it's just an old Stihl 029. Good little saw. I got an 026 too. 026 is a little underpowered. This 029 works pretty good for the stuff that I do. I would like to get something bigger. I'd like to get an old 66. But hey, one of these days maybe I'll come across one for the right price, fix it up. You can tell I'm moving awful slow. And it's this way the whole video, folks, so if you want to jump ahead, you know, it's kind of a boring video, y'all. It's just me cutting up wood, trying to clean up around the sawmill, make room to pile up more trash. Now, what you're hearing today, right now, I am outside narrating, and you can hear him clucking. She's trying to tell me she wants to lay an egg. I wish he'd hurry up and get her done. I'm over here, Pumpkin. My daughter's bringing me out a cup of coffee. Huh? Bringing me coffee? Cool. Bringing me coffee? Cool. I thank you. Cool. My daughter treats me good. She brought me out a cup of coffee while I'm narrating this video. And she's been picking up the sticks and stuff that's in the yard from when we took those 2 trees on out. And burning all the little branches for me. It's a nice day out here, nice and sunny. No smoke in the sky from the fires. I mean, that's the rains that we had really settled that on down. It's a nice cool day. It's not cold. It's probably about between 65 and 70 right now. It's just perfect weather if we're outside. It's an awesome day. Now, some people will tell you should wear eye protection when running on a chainsaw, and that's probably true. But you know what? In 40 years, I've never gotten a piece of sawdust in my eye from the chainsaw. Just saying for me. And as far as a hearing protection, well, I'm just going to say that being hard of hearing has really saved a lot in our marriage. It cuts down on the fighting. You know, so, you know, being hard of hearing ain't a bad deal. And as far as wearing the chaps, maybe that's a good idea too. But you know what? Have you ever worn them on a hot day when you're doing this hard work? It ain't no fun. Over sweating everything, wearing that helmet over your head and the screen. I mean, you can really overheat yourself. It's a lot more comfortable. And I think, in my opinion, safer to work comfortable. And if safety gear is making it uncomfortable for you, there's a good chance that you're going to make a mistake that you shouldn't have made. Then again, let me just say that some people are clumsy enough that they need all the safety protection gear. And my advice to them is, if you're that clumsy, you probably shouldn't be running this power tool in the first place. The one thing when working with dangerous tools is knowing your limitations. If you don't know your limitations, it ain't a good deal. Now, I am a firm believer that a person that's going to be doing anything working with power tools should learn this stuff at a young age when you heal fast. The older you get, we don't heal as fast, so we really got to know our limitations. And if you're an old fella trying to start out on this stuff, well, if you don't know your limitations, you better do all the safety gear. Better yet, get somebody else that knows how to do it. Yeah, I do want to say one thing about Gator. I didn't see him wearing all the safety gear that he should have been wearing when he was splitting that rock. Oh my goodness, man, I tell you what, somebody should call up the YouTube OSHA inspectors there and report. I mean, he should be cited for YouTube violations. And Tessie, when she's running that pressure cooker and pressure canner, man, she needs to wear eye protection. You know, in a lead suit, you know, so if that thing explodes, you know, she's safe. You know, I mean, hey, we got to keep y'all safe, you know, I mean, there's just certain things you need to do for safety, folks. Let's see here, where am I at this video? We're only about halfway through it, not even quite, 9 minutes on into it. Man, this is going to be a long video for me to be narrating. I really do got, if somebody can tell me I would have pushed the speed up to speed up these videos and talk my way through it. That would be totally awesome. Save me some time hunting, packing, looking for this stuff. You can all see back there, that's the shed I'm building for my daughter. I haven't made no progress for a while. Hoping to get back on it this week. Before I get it too heavy, I am going to finish that front wall before I move it. But I'm not going to put the roof on it. I'm trying to get the yard cleaned on up over here to where I can move it on over in place on the trailer before I get it too top heavy, so when I go to move it in place, it don't topple over. Yeah, I'll tell you what, y'all. For those of you that enjoy these sawmill videos that I've been doing, Ben Sawmill, he has some pretty cool stuff that he's doing. He's resetting up his sawmill, and you know, I would encourage y'all to check out his channel. I know a number of you already did. Check him on out, subscribe, and I'll tell you what, that young fella, he's a pretty smart guy. The only thing that I would have done differently on setting up when he was setting up his sonotubes, and he poured his concrete, I would have considered, and I don't know if this would be the right way. I'm just throwing this on out there just to put out some take up space on the chat here. One thing I would have considered doing was on the angle iron. I would have considered pre-drilling those before I poured the concrete, and then I would have bolt my J-bolts on in, my anchor bolts, so they'd be in, you know, to be ready to drop in the concrete. So that way, when I filled them up with concrete, then I could just drop that on in right into wet concrete, and the J-bolts would be right on in there, and everything would be lined up perfectly that way. With the with the bolts, you don't have to worry about, you know, where do I drill the angle iron at. On the other hand, if he was hand mixing that concrete one at a time, that might not have been the best procedure, because some of those sonotubes would be drying a lot quicker than others, so it wouldn't drop in there as easy. But the other solution is you can drop the whole frame in place and bucket the cement in around it. But those are just some thoughts, folks. I mean, I'm not trying to tell him that he did it wrong. I thought he did an excellent job setting that thing on up. He's put a lot of thought into it. Unlike me, you know, I mean, I put some thought into mine, and then I just started slamming it together, and there's a few things that I wish I had done different now. But all in all, I'm real happy with what I got. I know one thing, I got this clamp deal on the end of my, on the end of the sawmill, where that didn't hold very good and it vibrated loose. That ain't gonna happen again. I ain't using that clamp no more. I can't see the picture real well. There was one point where I grabbed a big long slab. I cut it like 8 foot long. Didn't measure it, I just kind of roughly cut its length. And you'll see me throwing it on the, you know, up on the sawmill there. I'm not really cutting that. What that slab is for is I got another slab already up by the fire for a bench, and that I'm going to turn into the backrest for that bench. can't see the picture quite well enough to tell if I've already done that yet or not. If I haven't, it's coming up shortly. I don't know if you could all see it when I fired up the chainsaw. My brother-in-law was saying that he has a Stihl and he finds it very difficult for him to start it. And he was wondering if it had some type of a compression release. And they do have on some of the newer saws, the bigger ones and stuff, they do have a compression release now that makes it easier for starting. But I was telling my brother-in-law yesterday, and I'm going to tell you all about this. When you go to start a chainsaw, instead of just putting it on the ground and pulling on the rope and putting all your energy and yanking that rope, if you do a combination of you throw the chainsaw towards the ground and you pull the rope up all at the same time, you get more yanking power, and it's easier to start a chainsaw that way. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, because you're afraid the chain's going to just take off on you and spinning, you're afraid you might cut your leg, just set that chain brake, you know, so the chain can't spin on you when it starts. We're getting down to where there's about probably about 5 minutes left, and it was about the last minute of this video was me trying to figure out how to set this thing on down. The sun was glaring on the screen, so I couldn't see. So I'm just going to let you know ahead of time what's happening there. I'm hoping I can edit that part on out. I did it once before. I just don't know. You know, I'm just learning this whole editing stuff. You'll know my typical posing skill. I'm going to use that again here. So when I say that, just don't even mess with watching the rest of the video, because it's just me trying to figure out how to cut off the screen. And if there's any more, it just means that I haven't figured out how to cut that part off. One thing I am going to encourage y'all is, if you're looking for a chainsaw, get one that's powerful enough to run the chainsaw bar long enough for you to do all your cutting standing up without bending on over. It really does save your back. But if you try to put too big of a bar on a smaller chainsaw, it just takes too much power. So get the saw that will run the power that you need for the length of the bar that you want, and try to get set up where you don't have to bend on over. It's a lot safer. You're not overworking yourself. You let the saw do the work for you, instead of you having to really get into it and wearing yourself out. is coming pretty close to the conclusion of this chat. I don't know how I come up with 20 minutes of talking without anything to say, but I did. I'll tell you this much, that guy on the video there, he sure looks like the one lazy mofo, don't he? Well, y'all, this pretty much concludes this part.
That's all, folks.
Just remember, if the girls don't find you handy like me, they can at least find you handsome like me.
If the girls can't find
and if they don't find you handsome like me, just pray that they find you. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Like me, pray that they just find you. Y'all come back now, you hear? Now I gotta find out where to turn this thing. Blinded by the sun. Yeah, sorry, making y'all dizzy.